Hey up everyone, welcome to the Rugby League History channel, hope you're all well. Tonight's video I'm going to be doing my tips for week 1 of the 2021 NRL Telstra Premiership Finals Series. The regular season's over, it's now time to get into the finals. We're only a couple of weeks out from the grand final itself, but this is the business end of the season. This is when results really do matter and all 8 teams are going to be looking to try to win the Premiership for 2021. Before I do so though, let's hear from this week's sponsor, which is Mako & Mako Solicitors. Have you suffered at the hands of someone due to a workplace accident or someone's negligence on the road? Are you going through a painful divorce at the moment? Then look no further. Call Mako & Mako Solicitors. They've been saving Aylwood and the Greater Metropolitan Sydney area for the last 20 years, and you can put your trust in Mako & Mako Solicitors. So let's get on with the first finals matches. 4 finals matches this week, as you all know. The first one is on Friday night, live from the Sunshine Coast Stadium. It's Melbourne in first and Manly in fourth. This is the qualifying final. Whoever wins this goes straight to the preliminary final and they get the week off. These two sides met only a couple of weeks ago. Manly were, I think, very unlucky in that match. I watched the game and I remember thinking that Manly had Melbourne, but just with daft errors and just some uncharacteristic things from certain players, they really let themselves down. And Melbourne ended up getting the victory in the end. Over the last couple of weeks, Melbourne have looked a bit, you could say, shaky in some periods, and against Parramatta they were exposed in some areas, and it gave the rest of the competition hope that, look, if Parramatta can beat Melbourne, so can we. And going into this week 1 final, it's going to be it could be the finals match of week 1, and you've got some players on both sides in red hot form. And I think it's going to be a very tight match. But I will go for Melbourne to win this match. I'll go for Melbourne to win 1 to 10 points. I want Manly to win. If you know me, of course I want Manly to win. But I'm going to tip with my head here. And I'm going to go for Melbourne to win 1 to 10. I think that they'll probably get some sort of lucky call go their way. Or some sort of stroke of luck will happen. And they'll end up getting the result over Manly, but it won't be the end of Manly's season. They'll get a second bite of the cherry if they do lose. The next match on week 1 of the finals is coming to you live from the Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. On the Saturday, it's Sydney Roosters, Eastern Suburbs up against the Gold Coast. East finished in 5th place and the Gold Coast snuck into 8th place. I think no matter what happens from this point forward, Eastern Suburbs can be very proud of their season, proud of their efforts. They've had pretty much 3/4 of their team out. The last couple of weeks it's basically been a North Sydney side, you could say. And for the Gold Coast, well, for them to make the finals, I've never seen out like it in my life. For all those variables to go right, I mean, they needed Canberra and Cronulla both to lose, and then they had to win their match as well by at least 12 points. In all the years I've watched rugby league, I've never known a club to need all the results to go their way, and somehow they've managed to get those results. Do I think Gold Coast deserve to meet the finals? No, I don't, but they're there anyway. So these two sides, both going into this fixture with a bit of form, and this is the second time that these two sides have met in the final series. The first time was in 2010 when East beat the Gold Coast in the preliminary final there up at Suncorp Stadium. For this match, even though East have a lot of players out, they have got some back, especially last week against Canberra. I will go for East to win 1 to 12. With the Gold Coast, I was just thinking to myself the other day, were New Zealand really that bad, or were the Gold Coast very good? And looking at the way that, say, New Zealand played, I'd have to go with the the first option. I think New Zealand were very poor, and coming up against an East side who have a lot of experience in the finals, some big game players, and they're a very well drilled side. I'm not too sure if the Gold Coast will be able to handle that, because a lot of their players, this is going to be, I think, probably their first ever finals appearance, as opposed to some East players that have played in 3 grand finals. So I'll go for East to win 1-12 on the Saturday. The second game on the Saturday is another big one. It's Penrith up against South Sydney. This one's coming alive as well from Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. Penrith and South have been very good to watch this year. South Sydney, one of the best attacking teams in the competition. Penrith, also one of the best attacking teams in the competition, and also one of the best defensive sides. These two sides only met each other a couple of weeks ago, and it was a very good match that first half. Second half, Penrith dominated the game, but I'm pretty sure South Sydney would have learned a lot from that match. And when you got someone like Wayne Bennett as the head coach, he'll know what to do to get his players in preparation for this match. Penrith as well, they've got a lot of experienced players in final situations now. They fell short in the grand final last year. They'll be desperate to reach the grand final again this year. It's going to be a smashing game. I think it's going to be a match that's going to emulate what we saw just a couple of weeks ago from both of these sides. So I'm expecting the same sort of match. But in saying that, Penrith have beaten South Sydney twice this year. The first was quite comprehensive. The second time out, they kind of laboured in the first half, got the job done. Second half, I think Penrith have South Sydney's measures this year and last year. And for that, I will go for Penrith to win. I'll go for them to win 1-12. But I wouldn't be surprised if South Sydney did win. I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm really looking forward to it. And the final match of week 1, it sees Parramatta up against Newcastle. This one's coming alive from Brown Park in Rockhampton. So Parramatta finishing 6th place this year, Newcastle in 7th. These two sides have a bit of history in the finals. They've played each other on 3 previous occasions. 1997, when Parramatta were up 20 out, and then they lost 28-22. 1999, Parramatta beat Newcastle in the qualifier, and then in 2001, as we all know, the grand final. So they haven't played each other in 20 years in final, and when it comes to Parramatta and Newcastle, Newcastle's always been a bogey side for Parramatta. They did play each other earlier in the year, and Parramatta won by 40 points. It was a very dominating display, and it was on Old Boys Day, and they had the celebrations of the 2001 grand final winning side. For this match, going into it, both sides come in with a loss, but Parramatta played the New South Wales Cup side, and Newcastle had a lot of players out as well, so you can't really count that as a loss for either side. They're both feeling very inexperienced teams and some reserve players. In seeing that though with Parry, we all saw what they did against Melbourne with that full team in, and a lot of those players will be back for this match. And the way that Parramatta, I think, have played in like the last 2 to 3 weeks, I think that's with the full team on paper, even up against Newcastle's full team on paper, I think Parramatta should win this game. And I'm not sounding biased as a Parramatta supporter, but I just think that on paper and the way that the two sides have played throughout this year, I'm leaning towards Parry. So I'll go for them to win 1-12 on the Sunday. I think they should get the job done. And they should go into the following week with a bit of confidence if they do win this game. If they get knocked out, then fair enough, but I will go for Parramatta to win this game. Anyways, everyone, that's me tips for the week 1 of the NRL final series of 2021. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know who you're tipping for week 1 of the final series. Anyways, this is Rugby League History, signing off. I'll catch us all later in the next one, and stay tuned for my next video. Alright then, tatty bye for now.